fabulous this morning. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harmony Spiritual Center. My name is Reverend Dr. Pjae Stanley, and it is so good to see you here. And those of you who will be watching later on, thank you for joining us. So last week, we talked about do, learn, do, be. And this was about, we get to read, and we're back in the room this morning, and we're reading, and we're trying to digest and learn some information about who we are and what God means to us and all of those kinds of things. But when we read and we're learning something, it doesn't take it into our being. We don't become that until we actually do something with it, until we take some action. And so that's what our talk was last week. And what I want to share with you is that I'm up here on Sunday mornings and I'm sharing some principles with you, some spiritual ways in which we live and be and how things work. And I'm not just here talking. I'm learning every time that I speak with you. I'm learning some things as well. And so last week when I did learn, do, and be, I went back home, and not that day, but during the week, and I was in meditation, and the talk came to me. And a conversation that I'd had with my son came to mind. And he said to me, he said, "Mom, you and Michelle," which is my daughter, he's the youngest and she's the oldest. He said, "You and Michelle talk all the time. You talk all the time." And I responded to the words he said and said, "Oh yeah, that's just, because she thinks of something and she just call me and I'll think of something and we just chit chat back and forth." But when that came to me in meditation, I realized it's not the words that he was saying, it's what he was feeling. And what he was really saying to me was, "You seem to love her more than you love me." That's what he said. And I didn't hear that. I just heard the words, not what he was actually saying. And so I called him. After that, I just called him just to talk with him. I thought, okay, so the calling seems to be something for him. So I'm just going to I'll start calling him. So I called him, and he's busy. He works, and he's I don't even know what his title is, but some banking thing. And so I left a message, and I thought, well, he's probably not going to call back. But I left a message. I did what I was supposed to do. What's mine to do is always the thing we say as well. Well, he called me back, and we talked for a half hour. A half hour. And I thought, okay, this is it. I need to start calling him and talking with him and beginning that same thing that I do with my daughter, because that seems to be for him, knowing that I love him as well. Okay? So it goes from the learning to the doing. That's just an example of that. That's all. And so as we're learning something, what's ours to do? That's what was last week. So this week I want to talk about cooperation as power. Cooperating as power. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because we can cooperate with people because it's in our best interest, or because we don't want to be seen as jerks. Right? There's a number of reasons why we would cooperate with people. But the power of cooperating with someone is that cooperative spirit is the power, is love, that you will cooperate with someone because you love them. And as we were talking this morning, if we believe, and we not just believe, but we know to be true, that we are all individualized expressions of God, which means we are all love and deserving of love for one another. So when we cooperate with someone and we cooperate in love, it takes it to a whole other level. So I have a number of groups that I belong to, and I call them all PIBs, which is Partners in Believing. Partners in Believing. And we need that because we want to move from, and this is the beginning of the year, we all have ideas and plans and thoughts about where we want to go, what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. And there are a number of people out there that will tell you you can't do whatever it is you're trying to do, just simply because they don't do it, they can't do it, they don't get it. And so what we need to surround ourselves with is people who are doing the same thing, who can believe with you or for you when you can't believe for yourself. When you can't believe for yourself. So that, to me, is a spirit of cooperation. So I have classes that I teach, and they're called the Dream Builder classes. This is about helping people understand how you go from a dream and a vision to your reality. It's a 12-week class that I teach. And what ends up happening in that class, every time we go through the class and we finish it, before we even finish it, we become PIBs for each other. We become partners in believing. And as someone is trying to go to the next level in their life and believe that they can do something, they could have more life, they could be more abundant, that they can make this business work, that they can get their degree, whatever they're working on, we end up being partners in believing with them. And this is how you love one another. This spirit of cooperation in loving people is how we do it. And so we just say to them, when we hear someone saying something that we know is not true about them, oh, I don't know that I can do it. Honey, yes, you can. You're smart. Many people before you have done it, they're not near as smart or near as good or near as talented as you. Yes, you can. This is how we hold people up and see them in a way that they don't see themselves. Because sometimes you can't. You're just so into whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're trying to do, you can't see the truth of you. And so you surround yourselves with people who can see the truth for you. Partners in believing. And so that's one of the gifts that comes out of classes that I teach, is that we end up having creating a PIB. We don't want to give each other up. After the 12 weeks are over, all right, so how are we going to continue to meet? We need to continue to meet and support each other because life is continuing to happen. So my question for you is, and my thoughts for you, is where is the spirit of cooperation for you? Who are you being partners with, and who's being partners with you? And it's not to have to be a big deal. It could be someone you already know, and you think, you know what? I love what they're doing, and I'm just going to make myself a partner in believing with them. You know, I have Melinda and Kim. We are partners in believing. We've been partners in believing since we all started becoming ministers years ago. We came together at the same time because I asked Spirit for that. I didn't call it PIBs at the time, but I said, I can't do this on my own. I don't even know what I'm doing. And so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just saying yes. That's how you do it, right? You just step into something and say yes and assume, good, that God's going to show you the how. That's how you make your visions come true, your dreams come true, your life come into fruition, is that you just say yes. And you assume that God is going to be there showing you the how, bringing the people that can do it, that can show you the how. That's what's happening. That's how we do it. So just step in and say yes. The willingness to say yes is the first thing that you do, decision. To make a dream come true, to decide for it. Decide for it. And then you surround yourself with people that are going to help you do it. So that's what PIBs are, and that was that example of it with my class that we do. And then there's another situation that I was in. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to talk about it now. Again, because it's just what is occurring, it's so expansive. It's just amazing to me how expansive it is. And I talked with Pat, and we were talking, I don't know what it is that we both seem to know that this is our year. For whatever reason, it feels like 2025, 1919, what the heck is what was that about? Where did that come from? Oh, like, okay. 2025 is our year. Yeah, thank you. This century, this is our century. And so I said to Spirit, well, because I want to move forward. I want to move forward in the business, and I need to. And women are my avatar. Women of a certain age and a certain amount of experience. Those are my avatars. And so I said, I need to meet some people. And so Spirit was saying, well, you got to go some networking groups, and I can't stand it. I can't, because it's all about passing out your cards, and this is what I do. What do you do? And oh my stars, I won't do it. And so I found a networking group that's pretty close to the house. It's been going on for some time. And I said, all right, I'm gonna do it. This I'm gonna do it. So I got myself together, and of course, when it was coming time to do it, I was saying, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't want to go. I don't go. Spirit said, get up, get dressed, and go. Let's go. So, all right, fine. So I get there. I'm in the parking lot of the place, and I'm early, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm thinking, I don't think I'm gonna stay. I'm just gonna start the car up and leave. And Spirit said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going in. Okay. So I go in, and I have a wonderful time. It ends up being in the holidays, and we're having a really great time. And I meet these two ladies that we just hit it off so well. And so we said, hey, let's meet up and let's see what each other are doing. And it was really wonderful. So we did that. We've met up. My life, I can't tell you how my life has expanded meeting these women. They have shared with me information that exactly what I need to know. I don't like social media. I don't like having to do it. I don't understand it. And the person I met is a social media guru. I have a sucky website. Most people can't even get on it. Like, we can't find it. Yeah. Even if you found it, it wouldn't say anything you needed to know. And so she introduced me to a fabulous website designer, and all within my range of that I can afford. It's just absolutely amazing, and we're becoming great friends. We like a lot of the same things together. We go to the same things. It's just so expansive, and I just feel my life expanding. So as that's happening, Spirit is also dropping into my head. Oh, hey, you need to call these people and do this for this girl. Okay. And so I called my girlfriend up. I hadn't seen her. I hadn't talked to her. She lives overseas, and I hadn't talked to her for a while. But Spirit said, call her up. And I said, all right. So I called her up, and I said, hey, I want to invite you into my class. And she says, oh, my God. I was just praying and asking God, what's mine to do next? And here you come. So the reason why I tell you these kinds of stories, it's so that you can understand the power of knowing how we are all children of God. We are all individualized expressions. And that means not only do we pray and have God Spirit answer our prayers in the form of other gods like you, that you are responsible for answering other people's prayers. So when God puts an idea, first of all, the first currency from the universe is ideas. That's the first currency from the universe, is an idea. So an idea will pop into your head from God, and you go with it. Now, here's the thing. If you don't go with it, it's okay. It's going to get done. You're not the only individualized expression of God, are you? So if you don't do it, he'll pop it into somebody else's head. It's okay. So you don't have to feel bad about it. It's okay. But I'm saying that you're missing out when you don't. That's all. You're just missing out on what's next for you. Not only how you can help, but what's going to happen to help you. Because this is how we work in a spirit of cooperation and love. When you do something for love and cooperation, your life is expanded. So it's never about, like I went to the networking thing because I needed to do that. But I went in with the spirit of love, wanting to, I had some things that I wanted to share with them to how to help. So I went in with the spirit of cooperation for myself, and then got so much more out of it. So if you can't do something from love, it's okay. It's okay. Don't do it. Let it go. But when you can, when you move forward, and you work with people because you love them, and it's interesting how love works. It feels like how do I express the love that I feel for someone who's doing something I'm not really happy with? We don't need to judge it. We don't need to judge it. We just need to see past that into the heart of God that's in them. That's the trick, right? Is to see past the behavior, see past where they are right now, and see who they are and lift them up. That energetic love from heart to heart is uplifting. They may not even know what they're feeling, but they're feeling it. They're feeling love. And you're not doing it so they can feel it. You're doing it for yourself because you want to be loved. 1 Corinthians tells us what love looks like. So all of those characteristics that 1 Corinthians tells us about is what love looks like. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is all those things. I don't remember all of them, but you can look it up. It's selfless. It's all these things. And so you do things because you want to spread your love to someone else. That is all. With nothing expected in return. That is the spirit of cooperation. But I guarantee that something will return to you. It has to. Your words and your energy doesn't go out into the void and not in return with nothing. It doesn't do that. So do whatever it is yours to do, but do it with love. Just do it with love because you want to. And if you can't do it with love, leave it alone. It's okay. Leave it alone. We were doing a reel, Jim and I, and yeah, so, because I don't know anything about it. He's like, you want to do a reel? I'm like, yeah, next Thursday. Hello, right now. Oh, excuse me. So we did one. Exactly. What's a reel? Exactly. Exactly. And so the reel was simply about this. For whatever reason, and maybe it's just the way we were raised, I have no idea why this is so out there in the universe, but that God is a punishing God. That if we do something wrong, we're going to be punished. I was watching this thing on Instagram, and it is just gone. I've seen it everywhere. It's just the cutest thing. It's so cute. And this beautiful girl is sitting there. She's in an interview with another guy. It's a black woman and a black guy. He's the host, and she's talking about something, and she leans back, and the hairpiece that she has on falls off. Have you guys seen that? It's so cute. And the hairpiece falls off, and she goes like this, oh my God. And he's just falling out laughing. He's just, and she's looking at him, and she's like, you're not gonna put that up, are you? He goes, oh yes, I am. Absolutely gonna. And then what she said, she goes, well, that's just, that's just the way God does sometimes. I was being vain about the way I looked, and so and so when she said that, I said, this is not about God. This is about you not pinning the thing on. What are you talking about? So we just blame God for all the crazy stuff that happened. It's not God. God is not a punishing God. How does that work? How do you say that God, love is all of these wonderful things, and then when something bad happens to you, it's because God is punishing you? What kind of nonsense is this? It's nonsense is what it is. It's nonsense. There is no punishing God. So I'm saying all this to say there's no punishment for you not doing something that God drops in your head, tells you to do. Just move on. Just recognize you're not ready. It's like trying to get a kid to walk or to run when they're not ready. You're not going to spank them or whatever because they're not ready to run. They're just not ready. God knows that. You're not ready. Okay, I'll move on. And I'll come back and try it again until you're ready. Okay? So get that out of your head. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. There's no punishment for that. But if you want to, then the gifts that come from heaven, from love, from the spirit of cooperation, the power that we have within us to love one another the way we want to love is a beautiful life. So that's all I want to say, is that the power of cooperation coming from love is one of the greatest powers we have, that we have with each other. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that. I usually have 3 action steps that I have you take, but there's really only one. There's really only one that I can tell you right now, and that is to love from your heart. Just to love from your heart. And when you can't do that, it's okay. Just at least be kind. Just at least be kind. And try not to be judgmental. You don't know anybody's story. We don't have the right to judge. We don't know what's going on with anybody. So if we replace judgment with love, there you have it. It's a beautiful thing. Just want to leave you with one last comment or quote from Martin Luther King. He says this, and I love it. He says, we didn't all come over on the same ship, but we're in the same boat now. We're in the same boat. So love one another with the spirit of cooperation. And so it is.